My name is Tori, this is Note of Life, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to the vlog that is literally my most anticipated release for the entire year. Listen, I'm starting this vlog on the 7th of April, and I wasn't expecting to start this vlog until the 16th, because that is when Taming 7 comes out, Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. But then, all of a sudden, I got an email that asked if I wanted a physical arc of Taming 7. And I was like, I am so honored. Absolutely. And this package came in. It says, in my Claire and Gibbsy era. And this has Taming 7 involved. I'm not ready, but I am ready. Okay. Did I open this already? Yes, I opened it last night. I could not hold on to it. So this is the beautiful book, Taming 7, and it has the little art copy. It's a very stiff book because it's an art copy. I don't know if I've ever actually received a physical arc, but I guess they numbered them, so I have number 23, which I thought that was really cool. It comes with a beautiful art print that you guys know I'm going to display next to, oh, where is it? It's right behind me, actually. I switch up my angle all the time, but I'm going to display, oh my god, Claire and Gibbsy and the kitty cats. When I tell you guys, The Boys of Toman is literally like one of my all-time favorite series. It really is. Now, the thing I found funny in this package, right, it came with tissues. It comes with tissues, that's it. So I thought that was really funny. Anyway, I am here because I'm going to be reading my most anticipated release, which is Taming 7. I am I can't even words. I am so just honored that I got a physical arc. I was not expecting that. When I got the email from Bloob, I was like, what the heck? I know I keep repeating myself, but I will say that this is going to be a spoiler-free vlog. I am a very big proponent of keeping things spoiler-free, and if I do, it's going to be at the very end. And I say that because I don't know how easy it's going to be to talk about this book without going into spoilers. I am already 2 chapters into this book. I got this last night, and I tried to read other things, and I was like, you know what, I cannot, just like, this was sitting in my living room, like, the package was in, it was in the package and everything. I was like, I can't just sit down and not like try and start this book, because apparently they are only doing physical arcs for this book, not ebooks, because I don't want, I guess, like, spoilers to be leaked. And I'm like, Chloe Walsh had to post, like, please keep this like spoiler free, don't post spoilers, and if you've read it early, like, don't talk about it. I was like, what the hell is in this book that like they want to like safeguard? Now, I have said this when I read the Boys of Toman series. You guys know Redeeming 6 is my favorite book of 2023. The Boys of Toman were like my top 4 books of the year last year. And I always said that there is this like, we got this glimpse of Gibbsy and sometimes Claire, but it's really Gibbsy from Johnny's point of view, where you really get to see just like there's something there with him. Like, Gibbsy always puts on this happy face in the other books, and he's always like the comedic relief, and he jokes around, and you know, all this stuff like that, and you think that he's just like this happy-go-lucky person. But I know that it's always like not always how you reflect on the inside, because I've done that. I've put on a mask when I need to be happy-go-lucky, and I can't be how I actually really want to feel, you know what I mean? So I feel like I understand that, and I feel like that's how Gibbsy is going to be. But I will say that reading the first 2 chapters of this book, I really think that you have to read the Boys of Toman series in order. A lot of people ask me, can you read Taming 7 without reading the other books? And just from the first 2 chapters, no. You have to read those 4 books. You have to read them in order. They're part of a series for a reason. It's labeled number 5 for a reason. Now, Claire and Gibbsy do get their HEA in this book, which I'm very happy about. There's no second book that I have to wait for, like Binding and Keeping 13 and Saving and Redeeming 6. This is about 430 something pages, 40 pages. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to, I'm gonna savor this book. Like, I can't tell you how much having this in my hands mean to me. I'm just so excited. I'm blown away. I'm excited. How many times am I going to say that? Anyway, I'm probably going to use these tissues because I already started tearing up in this book. Now, like I said, there's a little bit of darkness with Claire, There's a little bit of darkness with Gibbsy. This really opens up very emotionally, and yeah, I'm dying. Anyway, let's go on a journey together in this spoiler-free vlog of Taming 7. I'm very excited. I love Claire and Gibbsy just from what I've seen. I think that we're going to get some peeks of Shannon, some peeks of Johnny, some peeks of Joey and Aoife, which I'm very excited about to see like how they're doing after their book ends. That's what I'm assuming, because I haven't gotten too far into where this really picks up. Chapter 1 was in the past and chapter 2 was in the present, and it doesn't really like specify timeline wise. It's just them talking. So anyway, enough of me rambling. This vlog is already gonna be so long. Anyway, let's read my most anticipated release of the year. The way I just want to drop everything and just read this book. I just want to drop everything and not have a life and not have to work and just read this book. So I got to page 100. I'm savoring this book, okay? Like, literally, this is a 400-page book, and I'm like, every day or two, I'll try to get through, like, 100 pages. It'll be, like, my nighttime book that, like, once I sit down and I take a shower and I can cuddle with the baby boy. Hi, Miko. Hi, baby. And I just sit down and read this book, and I'm savoring it. I don't have anything else other than to say I'm savoring this book. I'm trying to figure out the words. Okay. I don't know if I said this because I think I was only on chapter 2 when I talked to you guys. Okay. If you are someone that you've read Binding and Keeping 13, right? You've read those books and you want to know where this picks up. It definitely picks up after Keeping 13. Okay, so Keeping 13 and Redeeming 6, which is the last book in Johnny and Shannon's story, and the last book in Joey and Aoife's story, right? Books 2 and 4. They end around the same time, like within a couple of days of each other, basically. And this book picks up right where those books left off. So, I mean, I'm gonna get really into it. To be very specific, you could read Binding and Keeping 13 and then pick up this book. Because with Binding and Keeping 13, you'll have enough understanding of like Joey and Aoife's dynamic, because they're in the book, that you could just pick up this book and be totally fine and read this book and like you'll understand. But if you're like a diehard fan, you want to like do things by the book, by the rule book, read all of them. I mean, there's a reason why this is number 5. But I remember saying there's something with Gibbsy. There's something like, everyone loves Gibbsy. I had a friend that did a reading vlog for Binding 13 recently, and she was like, I love Gibbsy. I just want his book so badly. Like, he's so funny. He's so just like, oh, he's so cute, so adorable. I'm like, this boy has some darkness, okay? Like, I also really feel like with this book, Chloe Walsh is setting up maybe some other character dynamics that were kind of vague in the first couple of books. But honestly, you see Johnny and Shannon in this book a lot. And I love that so much. Like, knowing what Johnny and Shannon went through, specifically what Shannon went through in Binding and Keeping 13 in the first 2 books in the series, and seeing her just so happy and acting her age and just being able to live life is honestly so fulfilling to me. Like, am I sitting here? What do I have on my shirt? I don't know what was on my shirt this whole time. Like, just notice that. I love seeing Shannon and just her being a child. Not child. I like her being like a teenager. She's 17 years old. I like seeing her get drunk and like let loose, you know what I mean? And I like that she's like gained weight and she's not anxious all the time, and that she can actually eat a full meal. You know what I mean? And like, she is healthy. She's at a healthy weight. Her anxiety is very low because she's not in that home situation anymore. And I just love being able to see that. I love seeing her and Johnny's dynamic. Obviously, I love seeing Gibbsy and Shannon, little Shannon. I listened to the audiobooks of all of the other books, and I physically read along. And I will say the narrators, I read this as I'm listening, like, I'm thinking of those narrators of how he narrates the other side characters. So, like, for Gibbsy and Claire's like this super cute, like, high pitch, like, whoa. Like, that's how she says whoa. And, like, when she says that, I hear that in my head. I obviously don't have the audio, I just have the physical book, but that's how I'm doing it. Anyway, I'm just like super giddy over this book. I think that this is gonna be a really good book. And I have a problem with having a physical book because I'll flip through like this and I'll just like peek at like words and stuff that's happening. And I don't know if like Gibbsy and Claire are gonna top like Joey and Aoife and maybe Johnny and Shannon, but I do love them for them. Like, I love them for who they are and what they're going through, and we'll see how I feel at the end of the book about their story. Now, I figured out last night, I was going to sleep and I was thinking about this book because I just read it, right? And I finally figured out why I love Chloe Walsh's writing. I love how torturous and how hard it can be to read because it talks about a lot of like triggers, right? There's a lot of triggers in all of these books. And it's so heartbreaking to see these characters go through these things. But I figured out why. I always say like, this is why I read romance. I finally pinpointed it. It's because you have two characters no matter what. I'm assuming Gibbsy and Claire is going to be like this. But with Johnny and Shannon and Joey and Aoife, you have these two characters that love each other, right? You see that they have these feelings for each other. But life is trying to literally tear them apart, and there are things that are just happening. Like Joey had gone through so many heavy things that he was like, I'm done with everything, I can't take this anymore. Or he turned to addiction. So it was like things that like were not his fault, that just like put all the pressure on him. Same thing for Shannon. Like, her home life was so hard, and because of like the system failing her, she couldn't tell anyone. She literally could not tell anyone. And with Gibbsy and Claire, I'm interested to see the dynamic of like what really happens, because it's alluded to, but like I'm like, okay, but how is their romance and how is their relationship gonna progress? I love it because they love each other. Gibbsy and Claire love each other. There is no doubt about that. I don't think there's anyone else in the world for Gibbsy than Claire, and vice versa. And I've said that literally about all of her couples. She just writes super strong and emotional romances where the couples belong together, but like I said, life literally, you know, makes them go through things. And I think that's the main reason, because it's not a miscommunication trope and that's why they break up. It's not some like stupid ass trope like that. And I say that really funny because it's not stuff like that. It's real life stuff that puts these couples through things throughout this whole series. I've been rambling for 7 minutes about this. I literally could talk about this series. All day. I love this series so fucking much. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna lay down and read, but I'm on page 100. I have not cried yet. I have teared up quite a bit. Tears have been right here, right? But they haven't fell. So the tears have not fallen. But will they? Probably. I'm very nervous, but I'm very excited. I'm still blown away that I have an arc of this book because I was not expecting that, and I'm gonna cherish this. Like, I don't even want to break it open when I'm reading it. I'm reading it like this because I don't want to like break it open, but I do want to go to Target maybe tomorrow or the next day, depending on how work is, because Target is having their buy two get one free sale, and there's a couple new releases I want to buy, and I just realized I don't have Redeeming 6 in the new covers. I have Saving 6, I have Binding and Keeping 13, but I don't have Saving 6. I don't have Redeeming 6, so I want to go buy that. So I can take like some Insta photos with this for release day. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Everything is going well. This is my most anticipated release, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, okay, that's all I have. Bye. Hi, hello. I am here to close out my Taming 7 vlog. I did finish this last night. Let me take out my bookmark. I always put it at the end so I don't lose my bookmarks. I finished this last night and I did tear up. Now, I definitely have some thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and they just get comfy a little bit. Okay, I definitely have some thoughts. So this book actually comes out tomorrow, and I'm so glad I read it. I will say this is a 5-star read. I am very nostalgic to these characters. I just love being back in this world. I loved it so much. I love Claire and Gibbsy's story. Like I've said many times in this vlog, there is no one for Claire but Gibbsy, and vice versa. Like, they are meant to be together. I never for a second doubted that. It's just things come up and stuff like that. Now, I will say 100%, obviously this book is not as thick as the other 4 books in the series, right? Binding and Keeping 13 was Johnny and Shannon's story, and Joey and Aoife's story was Saving and Redeeming 6, and we only get 1 book for Taming 7. And I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, I don't know how it's going to be. I will tell you, I can tell after rereading and reading Binding and Keeping 13. I've read the whole Boys of Tolman series twice, okay? I can tell you, I know exactly parts that were edited out of this book. You can tell right off the bat. I am in love with Chloe Walsh's writing because she writes everything about these characters. She writes their day-to-day, what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they're feeling, and you really get this sense of like you're living their life with them. And I will say I miss that. But I know a lot of critiques that this is too long, like her other books were too long. I don't need to see their day-to-day stuff. I don't care to see that. I am someone who likes it. So I can tell that there was a lot of things edited out. Obviously because she does write a lot. She writes everything. It's like those characters are living in her head, so she wants to write everything. Now if she ever has any bonus content for Claire and Gibbsy, give it to me. Claire and Gibbsy, Claire doesn't have like darkness, but Gibbsy does. He goes through a lot in this book. I will say check your triggers. This is a spoiler-free vlog, but check your triggers for this book because there may be some things that are not, you know, that may be triggering in this book. And like I said, I can tell where she edited things out, and I wanted to see that because, like, I know Claire and Gibbsy because I've read the rest of the books. Like, I've seen them. I've seen how they acted. But I just wanted the full Chloe Walsh writing experience where you get everything and anything she's writing about these characters. So that is just a small critique from me as, like, a fan of hers, but this is still a 5-star read. You still get her writing. You still get the romance between Claire and Gibbsy. You get this friend group, and she sets the end of this book up really well for the next book in a very interesting way where I'm like, oh shit, some shit is about to go down, okay? Like literally some shit is about to go down. And it's interesting because when you read the Boys of Tommen series, you're not just reading it for the couples. Like you don't pick up Boys of Tommen series just for Johnny and Shannon and that's it. When you read that, you want to go on to Joey and Aoife. You want to go on to Claire and Gibbsy. You want to go up to, I don't know if she's officially said who the next book's about, but it sets up who the next book's about very easily. And it's interesting because you're following this friend group. It's 10 of them. You have Joey and Aoife, Johnny and Shannon, okay? We have Joey, Aoife, Johnny, Shannon, Claire, Gibbsy, Huey, which is Claire's brother. You have Katie, who is Huey's girlfriend. You have Lizzie, who is the Viper, the friend. And then, oh my god, Pierce? I forgot his name, like his full name. But he's there. That's his last name. So you have these 10 people, right? And they're all this friend group, and they had a lot of stuff going on. There was like a divide in this book. And at the end of the book, she sets it up really well of like who's on which side, basically. And I'm very interested to see how the next book's gonna play out. Like I said, because you're invested in this world. You're going to really like get looped into this world. That's what you want, all the friends, you want everything, you want like all of that. That's why you read this series along with the romances. So with all that being said, it was a 5-star read. I cannot believe I got an arc of this. I savored this for the last week, like it's the 15th, and I've been reading it, I think I said since the 3rd or the 5th. I've literally been savoring this book because I really love it so much. I love this. I love her writing. I love the characters. I love the romance that she writes. They're so deep and so detailed. Like I said, I can tell that a lot of things of her writing was edited out, which makes me feel a little sad, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But that is me closing out this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can let me know if you've read the Boys of Tommen series. Let me know who your favorite couple is or your favorite person. Like for me, Joey and Aoife, I don't think anyone could beat Joey and Aoife. I could be totally wrong, but Joey and Aoife have my heart. I sobbed in Redeeming Six. That's my favorite book of all time. Favorite book in this series, hands down. I love it so much. So you can let me know in the comments down below if you read this series, who's your favorite. You can let me know if you want to pick up this series, but thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, for the emoji, I almost forgot the emoji. Ooh, what kind of emoji? Drop me, ooh, waves. Waves in water. That's a little hint. If you've read the series, you know what happens, but yeah, that's kind of a sad emoji. But drop me the wave emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content for me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.